years. And recently in 2001, the city of Dwarka of Gujarat in India is said to be 32,000 years old. And still one more of Mahabalipuram, Chennai, which is yet to be explored as it is still under water. So these finds have actually turned the accepted theories topsy-turvy. We really do not know what they mean. But for the sake of this presentation and our topic, we shall simply take only the accepted theories and timelines. About 1 to 2 million years ago, people belonging to the Homo erectus group, that is the link between apes and the present day humans, that is Homo sapiens sapiens, left the African continent in search of better pastures. Initially, they reached an area what we now call as the Middle East, and then traveled to Europe, and then journeyed across the huge landmass to reach as far as China and then some regions of even Southeastern Asia. There is also an argument that there was a huge landmass called Kumari Kandam which connected Madagascar, southern part of India and Australia. And the argument is that the people from the Homo erectus group from the African continent easily travelled across this landmass called Kumari Kandam and reached South India much earlier than those people who came through the passes of Himalayas. It is said that the Homo erectus people who reached through Kumari Kandam much earlier are actually the ancestors of present-day Dravidians in Tamil Nadu. Sangam literature, ancient Tamil script, speaks about this matter, about Kumari Kandam and various Tamil kingdoms in great detail. It appears that at the end of the last ice age, around 11,000 years ago, there was a great flood which submerged most of Kumari Kandam, leaving Sri Lanka as it is today. Anyway, we shall take up this matter in more detail when we come to India at the end of this series. To get an overall perspective of the growth and development of number systems by ancient civilizations, we shall broadly classify them as Eastern civilization and Western civilization. The East contained China and India. The Western civilization started in Sumer, Mesopotamia, followed by Egypt and then Greece and then Rome. But these great civilizations did not exist concurrently and develop concurrently, that is at the same time. It actually happened in different millennia. But before we go to Sumer, that is Mesopotamia, let us just take a brief look at those people who did not leave the African continent for better pastures. Science has classified them as Homo ergastus, as against Homo erectus, the people who left the African continent for better pastures. Now, the former group, that is the Homo ergastus, as compared to their counterparts, that is Homo erectus, it do not appear to have made as much progress. It appears that they were quite content in the African continent. But they too had learned counting, and they too had learned how to record the numbers by using tally marks method. In Europe, the ancient caves show the tally marks which have been done by Homo erectus or Neanderthals. But in African continent, the caves have not been either found or they have not been used. For some reason, he wanted to use some material which was portable, so that he could count it, record it, carry it and show it to somebody else. Stone was everywhere all around him, but he didn't have the metallic tools to carve on the hard stones. He could have cut a branch of a tree and use a piece of wood, but the wood would decay or it would get wasted by beetles or some other insects. So he needed something which was softer than stone but better than wood and longer lasting. And when he started looking around, he was surprised to see that the badly required material was running all around him. Animals. By killing an animal, He could eat the flesh and he could use the bone as well for recording. This is exactly what he did. Just take a look at this.
In the early part of 1970s, during an excavation of the border cave in the Lebambo Mountains, a small piece of bone that belonged to a baboon was discovered. What is so special about a bone of a dead monkey, one might ask? Indeed, it is very important. Firstly, it carries 29 clear and well-defined notches. An investigation has revealed that it is around 37,000 years old. Archaeologists wonder whether these markings indicate a lunar monthly cycle. Further, this bone resembles calendar sticks that are still being used by Bushman clans in Africa. This piece of bone, now more popularly known as the Lebambo bone, is said to be the oldest mathematical artifact discovered till today. Now, to the second oldest mathematical artifact called Ishango bone. For this, we need to go from southern Africa to Central Africa, more precisely to the border area of Congo and Rwanda.
Well, Africa being credited with another contribution to science. CNN's Patricia Kelly talked with researchers who have evidence that 20,000 years ago, before the pharaohs of Egypt, another African civilization produced a sophisticated calculator.
Proof that primitive man was well acquainted with mathematics lies under lock and key in the dusty archives on the 19th floor of Belgium's Royal Institute of Natural Science. Best described as a prehistoric calculator, it's a piece of animal bone, just 10 centimeters long, about 4 inches. Discovered in the 1950s by a leading Belgian archaeologist, the bone was found near Lake Edward at Ishango, on the border between the Congo and Rwanda. What sets the bone apart from the other fossils and fragments found at Ishango are its markings, groups of notches arranged in 3 distinct columns.
They are very, very well organized. They are not made at random. If you can make notches at random just to count how many animals you have killed today or something like that, but it's rather well organized.
When the notches are counted, a series of number sequences emerges. They suggest a number system based on 10, another based on 12, as well as a knowledge of multiplication and of prime numbers. This is a replica of the bone. It's thought this piece of quartz at the tip may have been used for writing or engraving. The Ishango bone may also be proof that a highly advanced civilization existed in Central Africa 15,000 years before the emergence of Egyptian culture. Homo sapiens may therefore have evolved in Central Africa before anywhere else in the world.
Before we go to Sumer and see what these Homo erectus people did, it is worth mentioning that the oldest number system, that is the tally mark system, has not become extinct altogether. Even to this day, even in developed countries, children are taught to start counting using this age-old method. After the Ishango bone, there is a gap of about 30,000 years for the next proof to emerge. Civilization means large human settlement, cities and writing. Now we go to Sumer, the present day Iraq.
آخه گل بیای وایتم بنشین خدای طبیب دردان داینه آخه ز غمه گوی نادیه غنت بلا علیل زردان داینه آخی داینی 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 سمندان و سمند
It was the Greeks who coined the name Mesopotamia, meaning the land between two rivers. It is estimated that the city of Ur in its heydays had a population of 30,000 people. The city of Ur was surrounded by about 100,000 acres of cultivated farmland.
آخه خود بگوی ویزش که تا که نناله داینی آخه دانی 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 دردم یکی دوتانی
Wheel was their invention and reed was a very useful building material as well. Ziggurat served many purposes. It was a temple for their god Nana, that is the moon